Yo, what is poppin', my dudes and dudettes? I just got done recording and streaming Stranded Deep, and you can tell I'm still in the same outfit, everything. But I'm going to be making a video now so I can get more viewer retention. Basically, I'm a mechanic now in real life. I know, crazy, with my Pokemon poster in the background, you wouldn't even guess. So, I will be looking at some customer state stuff. I do like looking at this in my free time anyway, so I'll be looking at that. I got my little mouse hair.
It's rolled in. This customer brought in their vehicle to the shop to get a new exhaust installed. As he says, it sounds terrible and drags on the ground. The customer also mentioned he just recently had this exhaust installed by a friend.
Okay, so I already see the first problem. Let me turn up the audio here, actually. But I already see the first problem. The first problem is that he used a tack welder instead of okay, so he tack welded all of it, it looks like. But he didn't do a very good job. Which, I mean, where I work, we don't really mess with that kind of stuff. We mess with very OEM parts and stuff like that. But it really just looks like his buddy just took a bunch of AutoZone exhaust cutouts and just tack welded them together. Very piss poor.
Customer states they just installed a new battery and want it checked over.
They're pretty nice.
I mean, I guess, but
I mean, no, it works. So here's the funny thing about that. That actually works. If you're ever stuck in a really bad part of town, your car breaks down or something like that, this actually does work. It just won't work for long. So if you need it to get from point A to point B, because it still conducts energy and stuff like that, it still works. But, I wouldn't recommend doing that
nothing
forever.
beats electrical tape.
Customer states they have a weird wobble in the rear. The technician found that the axle bearing was so worn that the axle shaft rubbed through the axle tube over time. The customer got a used rear differential installed.
Got the axe pulled out.
Okay.
This is the top.
And this customer came in as they have an oil leak and says the oil pressure light comes on. The first thing the technician did was check the engine oil and found it to be very overfilled.
Yes. Okay, that is a thing as well. So I know I'm going to keep saying that's a thing, but it is a thing. So you actually do get it's a NOx sensor. So you will get a NOx sensor code that comes up if you have too much oil in it. I know this firsthand actually because I put too much oil in my Hyundai Elantra and my motor blew up. It blew up for a manufacturer defect, so it wasn't my fault. I put too much oil in it as a safety precaution because it started to knock, which is the defect, right? And then I put oil in it and I was like, it's still knocking, so I put more oil in it. There's like a wives tale where you can actually put so my car takes 0-20 or something like that, right? There's a wives tale that you can put 520 and a 0-20 if it starts to knock, and it'll kind of help it last a little bit longer. But I still don't recommend doing that because that will actually make your motor worse if you do plan on replacing internal stuff. But yeah, same story. So if you put too much oil, you're going to get a NOT code, which is obviously a sensor, which too much oil is very bad for your motor and not enough oil. So just put what you need to in your car. Have a certified technician actually do that.
Oil level is down there is where it's supposed to be, and it is, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many quarts over full that would be.
Customer states vehicle pulling to the left.
So that's not even a bad ball joint. That literally is just the lower suspension arm just completely being rusted out. And that looked like a Kia Rio or something along like a Kia 5
Vehicle pulling
Kia
to
Rio.
the left.
And his rotors do look pretty new. So, I mean, he spent money in the wrong place, it looks like. So, yeah, he should have no steering, essentially. Yeah. It should just pull out completely.
Customer states they have an exhaust leak. The technician said this vehicle was driven in like this with a missing control arm bushing and bolt. The technician said it needed more than just the exhaust leak repaired, but the customer declined repairs.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not do that. That's a problem, first of all. Okay, so I can't even begin. Oh, and look at the corrosion. Look at the freaking corrosion on that oil filter. If you can't drive with missing, oh my God, you can't do that. Yeah, look, I was gonna say, obviously, you're gonna have so much caster. So, caster is, so everybody knows camber, where it's like this, right, for the wheel. So like this is like negative, right, and this is positive camber. It like makes your wheels like this, right? Well, you can actually have caster, which makes it like this, which can actually change, like what it is on this. It can actually change the area of your wheel. And caster is normally used in like racing and stuff, obviously, but this guy's not a race car driver. It's a freaking Toyota Camry. He's not going to be doing much racing.
The mechanic working on this vehicle noticed that the customer carved Pilot Sport into all 4 of his tires.
Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. You can't, that's not repairable. Don't do that. You're literally going to have to spend $800 to get new tires. Don't do
When
that.
this vehicle came in for a service, the mechanic noticed that somebody put JB Weld over the drain hole on the oil pan. The customer said they had no clue about this, as they usually get their oil changes done at a quick lube shop.
Oh, God.
Customer states they have coolant coming out of their exhaust. The technician found that the customer had a bottle of coolant left in the back of the car that was leaking onto the exhaust.
That sucks. That's not that big of a deal, though. Oh, that's a big deal. Never mind.
And this truck came in to get a new brake caliper installed, and the technician noticed it had painted brake rotors
Not only does it have painted brake rotors, it's also missing a lug.
and a missing wheel stud.
Mm-hmm. Don't do this. I shouldn't have to tell y'all. Don't do this. It's so bad. Don't do this. Please, don't do this. Oh, God.
Customer states they have a vibration while driving. The mechanic
Maybe
found
it's
the
'cause
outer
your
tire
ball
rod ends
joint.
to be worn, and he also noticed that the customer had 2 wheel spacers installed on each corner.
Oh, I didn't even see the wheel spacers. Holy crap. I was so focused on the ball joint being messed up. I didn't even see the wheel spacer. Those like 2 inches of space. That's not good. Why? Why would you put 2-inch spacers? I've literally had a truck come in about 2 weeks ago that had like a 1/2-inch spacer, and the wheel couldn't even be put back on the truck because it was the wrong lug. First of all, it was the wrong lug. Like it was the wrong thread pitch for the lug, and it wouldn't even go on. So why would you put 2-inch spacers, bro?
Customer states they have a bad oil leak after they had a quick lube stop change their oil the day prior.
Fun story, actually. We had an incident just like this recently at our shop. We had a guy that just didn't put the oil cap back on it, and the car came back, and I was told to check for an oil leak near the passenger front tire, and I open up the hood, and it literally looks just like this. It
The
looks
shop changed
just
their
like
oil
this.
the day prior.
Sure, ain't where it's supposed to be.
And this customer came in to get a quote after they had somebody pour battery acid on their vehicle. The customer did not mention who ended up doing this.
That sucks. Oh my god.
The reason Land Rover had to put such a big brake caliper on this Range Rover HSE has nothing to do with the supercharged V8. It's just really hard to stop 2 tons of a rolling pile of shit.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like.
That's
or
awesome. That's awesome, dude. Let's see if I can find. Okay, we'll do this one, and that'll be it.
Hey guys, welcome to Customer States. The brake pedal feels spongy after he got new
Oh, he put ATF in it. What an idiot.
brakes installed. When the shop asked who did the work, the customer admitted he did it himself and used whatever fluid he had to top up the reservoir.
No, don't do that.
This 2013 Volkswagen Beetle came in for its complimentary
missing
oil
studs.
change, and they didn't mention anything about these missing lug bolts or had any concerns at all.
Oh, you're so lucky. You are so lucky that security screw stayed on. You are so lucky. So lucky.
This vehicle just rolled in for an oil change and a complete detail.
Yeah, no shit. I'd kill myself.
There's a kid that sits back here.
I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't touch that at all.
And this vehicle came in because the customer says they have a strange odor inside of the vehicle. The technician couldn't help but notice the massive amount of dog hair in this car.
Oh, it's dog hair. I thought it was mold. Like, ooh. So throw the whole car away, dude, if that's mold. I mean, still, if it's dog hair.
Okay.
When I worked at the car wash that I worked at, and we did detailing, and I had to do with dog hair, we had a special tool for dog hair, and it didn't even freaking help. It was
It's
terrible.
time to check some tire pressures. Let's get the other side done real quick.
Okay.
Oh, hell no.
That's
Customer
pretty funny.
states they just installed new front shocks and the front end still feels a little bouncy.
Duh, maybe because you didn't bolt it down. Maybe that's why it feels a little bouncy.
Customer states they installed aftermarket LED brake lights and now their factory taillights don't work.
You plug it in? Oh, maybe because you didn't splice it together? Yeah.
What is this?
This Hummer that came in for an electrical concern had some interesting modifications that were done to it, like the front bumper and mirrors that were duct taped. The technician said it had many accessories inside of the
What?
vehicle that he thinks is related to the concern, but the customer didn't want any of them removed for diagnosis.
What?
The dealership that brought in this vehicle to the body shop said they got this brand new vehicle delivered to them with a bullet hole in the roof.
Kind of weird. Have a bullet hole in the roof. Must be Chicago.
Customer states their vehicle has a lack of power and sounds like Ric Flair.
Yeah, blown turbo. Yeah, so the turbine's absolute
Customer
garbage.
states their trailer is making an awful noise and they're not sure why.
Yeah, it's because your wheel bearing isn't connected.
And this vehicle just came in to get new tires installed.
Yep, that's
the
already a
technician
knock on the
noticed
motor.
multiple engine mounts were broken, which
Yep.
the customer never mentioned
Yep.
anything about,
Yep.
and they declined all repairs.
Yeah, I could tell just before it even started. I could tell. I'll say there's 4 engine mounts on that vehicle, and it looks like all 4 of them might be broken. At least 3 of them are broken. Lithium grease will fix that. I have a 1995 Chevrolet, and does the same thing. I put spray lithium grease on that thing.
This
Good
truck
to go.
just came in for an oil change, but the mechanic said he's going to fix that for free, as he couldn't handle the noise.
Mm-hmm.
This is after a parts delivery driver left his truck running outside and in gear. The driver said he thought it was in park, but it idled right into the bay after he got out of the truck.
What?
And here's a palette cleanser of a Pontiac GTO that just got some electrical work done to it.
Nice. Nice, bro. Nice.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and please consider
Freaking
leaving a
nice,
like
bro.
and subscribe.
Freaking nice. Go subscribe to Just Rolled In, baby. I'm going to subscribe to him because that stuff is awesome. I love Just Rolled In. But I'm going to end the video here. It's a quick video just to get something in for the YouTube algorithm. So, and it's something I like to do. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you the next time that I post or stream. Goodbye.